Ten Commandments. The Ten Commandments based on the scriptures of the scroll of the Lamb of God. The Ten Commandments written on tablets by the finger of the divine eternal Father. You children of the earth, promise before knowing a human life to fulfill in your simplicity feeling the highest morality that can be conceived, and to attend to your request, the Divine Father placed the Ten Commandments in human life. They represent and remind you on earth of the morality promised in the kingdom of heaven. You might be deceived by the fleeting comfort that money provides, thinking you had never studied my scriptures that could happen by failing to comply with the commandments in your daily life cannot be overlooked. Only the arrogant will come to know the power of God, which is first expressed through the living doctrines and then in nature. Every new law must be first thought and then executed. To do the positive will bring chaos to the world, as everyone will be deluded and many will take their own lives believing that the end of the world has come. No, children, there is not a such thing. What exists is the final judgment on a way life that is not in kingdom of heaven, that is not in my commandments, and I will be a proof the human evolution. The commandments were given for everyone. They are the only ones that can unify the world. My divine commandments do not divide the world. Only the divine commandments could and still save the world from the weeping incarnate society that is approaching. First commandment: you should love your God and Creator above all the things, and your neighbors as yourself. Second commandment: you should not worship on any image, temple, or likenesses of any kind. Third commandment: you should not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not behold him in guiltless who takes his name in vain. Fourth commandment: remember the Sabbath day and keep them holy. 6 days you should labor and do all your work, but the 7 days is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and made it holy. Fifth commandment: honor your father and your mother, so that your days might be prolonged in the land that the Lord your God is giving you. Sixth commandment: you shall not kill. Seventh commandment: you shall not fornicate, you shall not commit adultery. Eighth commandment: you shall not steal. Ninth commandment: you should not bear false witnesses against your neighbor, no lies. 10th commandment: you should not covet your neighbor's gods. Based on the Holy Scriptures, Exodus chapter 20, Deuteronomy chapter 5. The demanding days of the Creator bear the self-equality to degree unknown to you. This equality is represented in the Ten Commandments. Where did you get the word private? Nothing is private in the nature. The divine root gives and takes away, meaning that every divine commandments have been observing the actions of every human. Him bring through the centuries. They are living words of God, who is everywhere in the highest morality that the human mind can imagine. Such morality is represented in my commandments. There is no other knowledge in this world that surpasses them. My divine commandment teach equality. Inequality that is respected will have made the earth paradise. The Creator is infinite and it represents in all the things, yet His commandments are the supreme because they emerge from his free will. The divine morality of my divine commandments was created so that universal communist government could arise on earth, one single government and one single God. Is there any other doctrine more humble than the which they share material things in common? The hour has come when all the power that is not on the eternal Father will fall by his first own law. With the measurement they used, they will measure. The measure is the commandment, and by the commandments they will fall. Right, Alpha and Omega. Lord, you blew the winds, and the sea is your child. Who is like you, O Lord? From the eternal to the eternity, you are the voice of God. Holy greetings. Paul 38, 4-7. Where were you when I founded earth? Let me know. If you have intelligence, who ordered these measurements? If you know, who stretched the line upon it? On what are the bases founded? Or who laid the cornerstones of it? When all the morning star praise and all the children of God rejoice. Apocalypse 22:13. I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. What will come? Divine title 1488. Flying saucers are created in the solar science. This is science. It's so old is science that to reach it, human beings has to be born again in such a number of existences as is the number of the grains of the sand that the deserts of the planet contains, in which each grain of the sand is equivalent to an existence. The firstborn son fulfilled such a number of existences, becoming the eldest son of the universe after the divine Father Jehovah. Telepathic scroll. Divine title. Construction for the silver sheet, a living origin drawing back to the eternities of time, from before the current sun's beginning of the end Alpha, the Omega principle begins. Yes, son, we will begin the explanatory series of the silver sheets because the times has come. There is no action both above and below that does not have its time. The silver ships that early children calling saucer, flying saucers, are ships of the solar origin. They are angelic creatures, and their mission is to enforce the divine laws of the Father. Because there is everything in the universal flock. The silver ships have the construction that it's all beyond a human's knowledge. They are ships built in the suns themselves, or in the worlds typically of the high solar regions. They have reached a such degree of perfection that they understand the matter directly, just as my solar firstborn son Christ did. He was a solar father, an eldest son of the Father Jehovah, and he promised as such to come into the world, bright and the son of the winsome. My divine first son is one of the same of the little children who mend these distinctly shapes. The solar trinity is not like the human creature, that is just the beginning of the rise from the ground. The firstborn son are infinity. They are everywhere, just like the Father. Wouldn't you thought that the God is everywhere? The silver shades, beginning at the solar origin, are also everywhere, but the sons themselves found the living knowledge in the Holy Trinity of the Father. The Divine Father is also fire, and it surrounds everything and creates everything, The silver ships are also His divine creations. They are the results of the infinite existences. They are, in their crew, were also born again. They were also small and humble in worlds that are no longer there. To be great in the kingdom of the heaven, become great as sons of the Vincents. They also fulfill and still fulfill the divine command. You will learn and earn your bread by the sweat of your brow, because what is above is equal to what's below. No one is born perfect. Everyone is born innocent and lacking in science. Everything causes in the universe, everything is a struggle. The divine parole that explained it, it refers to all creatures of the universe. Not even the silver ships fail in to fulfill the divine mandate. And it means that it is necessary to fight in imperfection to achieve perfection. No one knows any perfection. And He has for not first known imperfection, just as the Father knew her. When the current expansive thinking universe did not exist, because before you there were other universes that continued to expand in other infinity dimensions. Yes, son, I know that you're thinking that's how it is. These ships are building all the sons of the paradise wars to reach such a perfection of its constructions and evolution superior to what the humans is required, and it is required to have been born infinity times, and is required to have known infinity sciences, just like the journey of the human son had to take to build the flying ship, and he has. What's above is equal to what is below. Only that its sciences are related to like the worlds themselves. The constructions of the so-called flying saucers is something that it will excite the world. For each spirit saw them before leaving of the kingdom of heaven, these sublime ships that enter and lead the colossal suns brought the spirits of the earth to life. And not only from the earth, but of the infinity worlds that were in the space before your earth was born. Those worlds are no longer in the space. Other has to see them, and the creatures of those worlds that are no longer there and currently the crew of these eternal ships. Because the material universe will end, and these ships will survive, for everything that comes out of the spirit is eternal. And it's eternity that the spirit was also matter. Since both have free will, both happen in eternity. The silver ships are ships made by the solar fluids, which are like the virtues of the spirit. Solar fluids are in the source of magnetism. The magnetism is fire. The creative fire that creates matter, or the speed of the solar thought, a speed that earth science cannot calculate, because the terrestrial calculation is microscopic. The solar fluid is the soul of the individuality of the suns, magnetism soul, and is the related and eternity. Here, our individuality becomes a matter, and they preserve your free will. Solar fluids are also strange, a force that will fill the human creature with the draw and dread. Well, the force of the sun is capable of keeping colossal planets within his radius of actions. And this is an eternal way. It is universal gravitation. Everything in the space is suspended, both above and below. The silver ships comply with the similar law. And the solar trinity is everywhere, because in all infinity there are the suns. These ships continue on their journeys to the cosmos, their own and successive solar line. In their respective solar trinities, one sun replaces the other, and on so they can travel eternities. This shows that there are infinity categories of ships, according to his solar related, according to the solar hierarchies. In the kingdom of heaven, knowledge constitutes power. Knowledge received quality and matter made power. These shifts that confuse the terrestrial children are the shifts fulfill the same physical laws that you were just fulfilled, because there's these divine creatures also complying with the divine law that is above is equal to what's below. They were so small and humble. They were also little mean monkeys, as you are now, and they are now great in the kingdom of heaven. Some are first, and others later. The eternal succession of the creatures that will never cease. This eternal succession of the beings was already there when your planet Earth was born. The unlimited power of these ships is demonstrating into you eternities later, and when your world is no longer in space, you too will be great in the kingdom of heaven. The divine law in its universal and is all for all the worlds, for those who were, those who are, and those who will be. You all have the same principle, a beginning from the Father. Come out of the fire, came out of the solar luminaries. Does your physical body have electricity and calories? And does your planet have fire in his own center? For matter and spirit came and still from the solar fire. They came from the same point, and they are created in the image and likenesses of God the Father. They are also fire. The silver sheet preserves in eternity the divine zeal of the Father. They are still made of fire, magnetic and solar. The transformation from fire to matter is something that it will fascinate in the world. The solar law, which, and you are far from suspending, will be made known to the world for the first time. As you receive such a sublime light from the little lamp of God, misunderstanding will end. An entire deal will end at the expenses of the faith and beliefs. Many worldly deadens deny before the word that the existence of my messenger. To such I say, you should out loud and in public what you arrogantly denied during your life. Whoever denies a prophet or messenger from the heaven, such of these shades denies the Father. And whoever denies the Father denies his own eternity, denies his entry into the kingdom of heaven. This, knowing in all else forget that all humans' spirit are tested on their own theories and statements, second by second, since there is knowledge of God and good and evil until the last breath of life. What does not exist in your world exists in others. Were you not taught that the Father has many mansions, and that you are born again, giving rise to the new living sciences only through the knowledge learned in the words? One reaches the Father just like celestial creatures that govern these ships arrive. The ships that millions of you denied, they were the ones that caused and you planned to be born. They accompany the solar spark through the space. They attend to him with infinity love, just as a mother cares for her baby, because they are all infants. They are all children before the Divine Father. Both matter and spirit, no one is less before the Creator of the universe. Everyone has the same rights, both above and below. In the macrocosm and the microcosm, the birth of your planet and all the planets in the universe is due to these ships. Their number is infinity as the universe itself, and there is no creation in the infinity in which these ships not participate. There is everything in the Father's flock. These ships represent a stunning antique. Not even all the centuries that your planet has come close to them. based on the fact that for each molecule of Earth that corresponds a century, even by calculating all the existences that human beings will have, you will not arrive at the calculation. You had to be born again as many existences and the worst as your mind can imagine. Not even so, because this span of eternity, they have also advanced another time and space, created their own expansive eternity. These ships have inherited some control over the others. This inheritance has no beginning and no end, because creation itself does not have it, nor will it ever have it. The size of these ships in the macrocosm is simply terrifying. If human beings saw them, they will be simply go crazy, because it will be terrible and have no inferiority complex. There are ships of such a size that their mere presence extinguishes infinity sounds of the colossal sizes. They are not a sound like yours. Your sound is dwarf, and the sum of the microcosm, the sounds I am talking about are gigantic sounds. A giant. Each of these sounds has a volume of trillions more than yours. Here, we are in the presence of the kingdom of heaven, where nothing is limited. Everything is unlimited. Everything is gigantic, to a degree that escapes every mind. Creation is so eternal that it reaches all dimensions. There is no limit, and it all exists and is also related. Everything tries to reach out the Father more to get to where the Creator is, and it is necessary to be born again. If your God is everywhere, I await the returns of my children, and it's not necessary to wait on the endless amount of time, and it's only necessary to comply with the divine law that was given to you in every word of the universe, because no one is disinherited. Everyone has the same opportunity, both above and below, in the matter and the spirit. If the universe is related, my divine word is also related, because it's an eternal part of the creation. You cannot teach the words that what's superior to your knowledge and understanding, because you are limited in it. You have in front of you all infinity, and you cannot reach out in conclusion, and every theory that is born from you bears the seals of the doubt. All doubt is a product of evolution. You are from the dust worlds. You are small in material and spiritual knowledge. More, this is not eternal, and this is related to the eternity of your spirit. You have more than enough eternity to be born successively from the word to word forever and ever. Your errors and it causes by darknesses and full goodnesses of it. This cause is galactic, and is all direct relationship with your spiritual past. No one is born perfect. You all being between darkness and light, with innocence regarding good and evil. You are born with two tendencies, and they are ignored. This means that between good and evil, there is a free will. Good and evil cannot overwhelm him, and it was never happening that if the spirit has a spiritual test, and it's because they're requested in the kingdom of heaven. You must never forget that everything is living. Good and evil are free will, are living and have their own free will. They are free in their own philosophies. Furthermore, everyone is accountable for their action before the Creator. You were taught to reject evil, reject the darkness, because that suits you. Because evil is also prevent, and it always gets the worst part. Because whoever has practiced evil in a microscopic time does not enter in kingdom of heaven. This is the divine law, and so every spirit asks for it, and it so was granted. The requests are infinite and variety. How the infinite and variety are the words of the universe. In the living universe of the living good of God, there exists all the philosophy that your mind can imagine. In the universe, every fantasy becomes reality and is constituted in the eternity. Your spirit is also thinking eternity that lives within his own dimensions, live planetary and related life. Since every spirit is born again, appears again in other dimensions, the spirit, through the existences, appears and disappears in his experiences with matter, is born and dies, comes and goes, and is free and transformed. This transformation is entering in the body, the flesh, and knowing a new experience is unknown matter. From the subject of one passes to another, from one world, one passes to the other, because the microscopic capacity of the human spirit is not capable of encompassing everything. It needs to come and go. No creature in the universe knows everything. Only the Father knows, as everything exists after the Father. They are creatures of infinity powers, living wonders of the universe knowledge. Wars with reincarnations are made, creatures that help the Creator in His very creation, and in the midst of the infinity living powers are the solar fathers, the eldest children of His creations, the firstborn sons, whose origin date back in times that escape all mental calculations. Only the Father knows. After the Divine Father come His firstborn sons. The Father creation has no limits. The number of the firstborns is infinity, and their trinity is made in one. This divine law is typically of the solar hierarchy, and it's not human law, although you can become one, because the inheritance of the Father is in everyone. The divine inheritance begins with the most microscopic thing that the mind can imagine, because it was taught that you had to be small and humble to be great in the kingdom of heaven. To become a firstborn son of the colossal planet, the microscopic principle is born from matter and from the spirit. Behold the divine principle of the justice and equality, which can never be surpassed by any worldly justice. The justice of the world is justice with the same injustice, because every early judge is unjust to himself. Those who should judge the world are the humbles. Wasn't taught that the humble are first? Certainly you know it, but you turn a deaf ear, because you allow yourself to be influenced by the illusion that the money left you. The philosophy of the money entertains every spirit in things that are worth nothing in eternity, and you let precious living seconds pass, that if you had used them better, you would enter in kingdom of heaven. Well, 1 second lost in vanities is enough for the entrance of the kingdom of the Father to be close to you. All of you humans, spirit, promise the Father not to be deceived by the devil, that hopes that tries to ensure that no one enters in kingdom. The money that the group of ambitious people invent in Satan himself. The money that a group of ambitious people invented in Satan himself, and because you have known money, millions and millions of you cannot be resurrected to children of 12 years old. The year 2001, the money will be cursed by the same people who use it, and the authors of the same, they will not be the one stone left upon another on the building called materialism, because it is the supreme illusion. They built this building without consulting my scriptures, and I was reading that every philosophical trait that the divine Father Jehovah did not plan will be uprooted. All humans' spirit promise in the kingdom to comply with upon all the things with the laws of the Father. And what do they do when they meet in human life? They forget. They do not take the trouble to look for any patch. They adopt that should be easy. And this easier thing to is forget even to the Creator of light himself. And they promise not to be, because no one wants to be rock of ingratitude. And all you little human monkeys promise before living in the kingdom of heaven not to be ungrateful. You promise to be lights and the living knowledge. As far as your Creator is concerned, you promise to study Himself in all of your life, and you got done it. Without wasting any seconds of time, all time is spent by each of you is weighted and judged in the kingdom of heaven, just as your judge, because everyone has the same rights. Matter and spirit have free will. Both coexist for a moment in certain planetary matters. That moment is celestial time. For you, it is in centuries. Your dimension is off of every slow vibration. You are the dust of the microcosm, and the silver sheet penetrates your dimension with the magnetism trillions of times greater than your or your sun's. These sheets have enough magnetism to pulverize the solar system. Furthermore, its crew members are not destroyers. They are creators. They live in the train of the Lamb of God, the same of one that was given to the world. The same, the one of the people that Israel received thousands of years ago, so that he could practice and he has teach into the world. What did the people do of Israel? What did these people of Israel do? He forgot the divine command. He became trafficker, a philosopher that exploits the most humble. What example of the divine morality can you offer to the world? If you were excited about this material present, if you don't see beyond the influence of the passing possessions, certainly Israel is the blind leader of the blinds, and is no use to be an ancient nation and violates the divine love of the Father Jehovah. Israel, Israel, what would you understand that the Creator of life does not like to use the force? He would kill with the same sword, dies with the sword. Whoever uses force falls by the force. Do not do to another what you will not want done to you, because all creation is living. Your death awaits you in the kingdom of heaven. There would you be arrived victorious from earth. There is all your justice awaits you, only that your earthly glory disappears before the infinity glory of the Father. And this divine warning is also for every earthly nation. You gain nothing by aggrandizing yourself on earth. If you shrink in the heavens, every victim, whether that the reason why you killed them awaits you, because it was written that every victim is first in the kingdom of heaven. Weren't you taught not to kill? Poor you nations, that in the blood of my children was seed for you. It would be better for you not never to have formed any nation, and it is caused by the splitting of the molecule of the blood from one of my children, poor you, exploiters of my flock. And it would be better for you that you had not been born, because none of you will be escaped. This is what it which you asked for in the kingdom of heaven, and it was granted to you. You asked that the most microscopic fault be punished. Therefore divine justice comes to you. You crying and garnishes of teeth is your request, because you asked to be sent in test on every remote and microscopic planet called Earth. a word almost unknown among the colossal, and it was breathing that every spirit is tested. This divine parole returns with all his force to you in your minds, because you ask for it, and it does that way. There will be nothing creature that will not be shaken on his own spiritual rock. Just 1 second of the forgetfulness towards the Father is enough, and you are already creating a rock of the ingratitude, and that's not enough for you to not enter in kingdom of heaven. What you do means by worship God above all the things, and it's not enough for you to start worshiping Him for a second, and you are already violating the divine command. This is what you asked for, and it was granted to you. Tests are the tests, and your divine Father respect them. They are divine and living in your spirit, and the consequences of each individual test are also living in every act done in your life eternal. Nothing ends. Everything is transformed because you belong to the expansive thinking universe, and in this universe everything is possible. Everything exists just to think about, and it was exist for all your eternity. What is above is equal to what's below. The unknown relates temporarily and eternal to the same universe. The silver sheet belong, and what you can fly and what you call flying saucers are the same. And according to the form that you give them in your mind, this form materializes in infinity. Your first form is in the idea, and the idea is the foundation of the beginning for all eternity, because nothing exists that has not been small and humble. To become great in the kingdom of heaven, it is the only beginning in all the things. Everything happens by all principles, and it goes through the every size, shape, and philosophy, and this Trinity never ceases. For one born eternally again, and if your current existences, this seems impossible to you, and it's because you asked for such a sensation, and it was granted to you, and it's part of the test chosen for you in the kingdom of heaven, and it was your free will who requested. Your life could have been infinity other ways, because the divine Father is infinity. It has no limits on anything, neither in unknown nor in the unknown. A determination can manifest itself in infinity ways. It is up to you to choose more. You can only have to be one destiny, because you are microscopic. You are just learning to know the planetary life, the same principle of the flesh that the crew the silver sheet went through. They, like my first son, had a microscopic beginning. They were also little meat monkeys when the planet Earth was not yet born. There were other worlds in the universe that are no longer there, for everything returns to the Father. Everyone, both above and below, returns to what they were before having been born, returns to His heavenly free will. Because matter and spirit are always born free, one independent of the other. Right, Alpha and Omega. For more about this learning content of the Scrolls of the Lamb, feel free to visit our website, telepathicreading.com, where you can find many more Scrolls of the Lamb available for your attention and reading. For my part, in my behalf, I want to thank you for listening to our content.